The word smart on an appliance box adds an average of $340 to the purchase price. It also adds an average of 2.3 years to the failure timeline. According to Yale Appliance service data covering 33,190 real repair calls, smart-enabled appliances fail at a rate 31% higher than their equivalent non-smart counterparts. The feature that is supposed to make your life easier is the fastest way to end the machine's life. Repair technicians call it the feature failure formula, and every smart appliance in your kitchen is running it right now. Today I am going to show you exactly how the feature failure formula works in 3 specific appliances, why the manufacturers know this and build them anyway, and the specific machines that repairmen own in homes where they never want to receive a service call. Every smart feature is an additional circuit board in an environment hostile to circuit boards. That is the entire argument. Let me prove it. The first villain is the smart refrigerator, specifically the French door refrigerator with the ice maker in the door. In the old days, the ice maker sat in the freezer compartment, which is below freezing. That made sense. Freezers make ice. Modern manufacturers move the ice maker up into the refrigerator compartment. This is a violation of the laws of thermodynamics. They are trying to freeze water inside a box designed to maintain 38 degrees. They pump freezing air from the bottom up through thin plastic tubes into a poorly insulated compartment at the top. The seals fail, warm air gets in, and the ice maker turns into a solid block of frost that jams, leaks water across your kitchen floor, and eventually destroys the fan motor. One major manufacturer's French door refrigerators generate ice maker service calls at nearly triple the rate of their top freezer models. The manufacturer did not redesign the ice maker, and they made it harder for independent shops to access. And the smart screen on the refrigerator door. That tablet is a consumer-grade computer running software that the manufacturer supports for 4 years, then discontinues. When the software hits end of life, the features stop working. Your $3,000 refrigerator has a bricked dashboard. The fridge still keeps food cold. The $400 touchscreen is now decorative. This is not an accident. This is the subscription economy applied to your kitchen. The second issue is the smart oven, specifically the self-clean function. Your grandmother's oven had a mechanical dial. It was a simple switch that sent power to a heating element. If it broke, you bought a $10 switch and screwed it in. Your modern oven has a motherboard, a printed circuit board with delicate microprocessors, soldering, and capacitors. Where do manufacturers place this delicate computer? Right next to the oven vent. They put a computer that hates heat inside a machine designed to generate heat. Thermal cycling cracks the solder joints on the board. But the feature that kills it fastest is the one they market as a luxury, the self-clean cycle. When you press self-clean, your oven ramps to 900 degrees Fahrenheit to burn off the grease. That heat rises up the back wall and cooks the control board. Repair technicians say the same thing consistently. Running the self-clean cycle is the fastest way to kill a modern oven. You are frying the brain of the machine to save yourself 10 minutes of scrubbing. A replacement board costs $400 if it is still being manufactured. The third failure is Wi-Fi-dependent operation. Multiple appliance brands have launched washing machines, dishwashers, and ovens that require an active internet connection to use advanced features. When the manufacturer shuts down the cloud server, those features stop functioning permanently. Real examples already exist, including a connected oven whose remote preheat feature was discontinued 3 years after launch. A washing machine had custom cycle presets become inaccessible when the app was removed from the App Store. You bought the machine. You do not own the software. When they decide you should upgrade, they shut the service off. Quick question. What smart feature on your appliance have you actually used in the last month? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I'm betting most of you are going to say none, or the timer. I'm betting the Wi-Fi connection, the custom programs, and the diagnostic app have never been opened since the first week you owned the machine. The manufacturers know this. They did not add the features for your convenience. They added them for additional failure points and a justification for the higher price. So, what should you actually buy? The rule is the same across every category. Fewer features, longer warranty, real parts. For refrigerators, buy a Whirlpool or GE top freezer model before 2018, or a Liebherr through a specialty dealer. No ice maker in the door, no touchscreen, no Wi-Fi. For washing machines, choose a Speed Queen TC5 or TR7 with a mechanical timer, steel transmission, and commercial platform. For ovens, any gas or electric range with a mechanical knob and no self-clean cycle. Repair technicians consistently recommend models made before 2010, bought used, over any smart model bought new. For dishwashers, pick a Bosch 500 series or Miele with a silicone gasket, stainless tub, and the control board above the door line. Here is what the repair industry calls the dumb machine premium. It used to mean you were buying a lesser product. Today it means you are paying for simplicity that adds years to the ownership timeline. The dumbest dishwasher on the Bosch shelf is more reliable than the smartest Samsung model at twice the price. Fewer features, longer warranty, real parts. That is the only test that matters. The corporations want you buying a new appliance every 5 to 7 years. When you buy the mechanical Speed Queen over the Wi-Fi connected front loader, you are opting out of the feature failure formula. Fewer features, longer warranty, real parts. Stop buying the computer that does your laundry. Buy the machine. Subscribe, because next I am doing the full forensic audit on Speed Queen specifically. Is the $1,200 price actually worth it? I went through the internal specs, the test standards, and 25 years of cost math. The answer might surprise you, and I am going to tell you the one honest weakness that no Speed Queen fan ever mentions.